Hello, everyone. Scotty White, World Combat Sports. I'm here at Fight Week. Vontae Davis versus Gamboa. I have the one and only Coach McKinney, who's been a prominent staple in the boxing community. Worked with the likes of Tyson and many more champions. If you could elaborate on who you've been working with, sir.
Mike Tyson, Toney, I could just go on and on. Ricardo Mayorga, Michael Moore.
How's that journey been for you, sir? You know, you've dealt with a lot of champions.
It's been great. It's been fun. It's been great. I had no idea I'd be around this long for boxing, but it's been like a little over 40 years. So it's been great. I have traveled all over the world, met everybody. So it's been great. I'm still healthy and I'm still doing it.
You look great, sir. Been around the world, like you just said, dealt with some fighters that's been like a part of boxing history. Like, what are some stories that you have, you know, that you can talk about dealing with those great fighters that you train?
Well, most of them basically got the same story. Most of them from the same type of background, you know. We all from broken homes, broken dreams, and broken promises. So we all can relate because this is basically our background. You know, boxing is a poor man's sport. So we all started out poor, and so it's been great. It's been great. You go up and down. I got a chance to, do well financially, educated my kids real well. So it's been great. Been a great journey.
When did you find out you had that dynamic to work with these fighters? Because, you know, fighters aren't the most easiest people to work with, but you've obviously found out the dynamic to make it work.
Well, what happened is you're born with it. You're born with a lot of this, you know. And once I started working with fighters, I realized I could relate to them. Not only could I train them, but I can relate to them in various ways. Fighters like Michael Moore was tough. Mike Tyson for 10 years, psychologically is tough. I can go on and on. All of them got different personalities, but basically we all come together. And then I work with guys from Nicaragua, from all over, man. Latin fighters, it's just natural for me.
What was one of your best fighters to work with during your tenure?
A lot of them was good, but I would say Toney Tucker, Mike Tyson is probably the best technically that I've worked with. Those are very scientific fighters.
You've seen it, you work with Tyson. It's been comparison to Deontay Wilder and Mike Tyson's power. What is your feedback on that? You know, what's your assessment on Mike Tyson's power versus Deontay's power?
It's no contest. There's no, I mean, Deontay knocking people out. You got to understand one thing. Most of the guys he's hitting, those guys, class B plus fighters. He's not hitting guys like Ernest Shavers. He's not hitting guys like Ali. He's not hitting guys like George Foreman, guys like Joe Frazier, the guys who can absorb punches. Most of these guys he hit in my prime amateur, I knock out. So, you know, he punching now. He's punching good.
Yeah.
But the hit of Mike Tyson be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, you know, Mike Tyson is still a highlight reel to the day. And, you know, in this modern era, you have Deontay Wilder that's making his highlight reel, along with Roy Jones Jr. Do you find in this new era, some of these boxers have technique that can't be taught? Like Roy Jones, can you believe his technique can be taught, or Deontay Wilder's?
No. Deontay can be taught to a certain extent because he doesn't have good balance. He doesn't have good balance. But you take a kid like Roy Jones, you teach him a few fundamentals, and you turn him loose. Even Muhammad Ali, Angelo Dundee, when Ali went to Dundee tried to get Ali to do the basic standard boxing with his hands up, and he found out that Ali was getting hit with a lot of punches. So then he decided, well, carry your hands where you want to carry them. And then the greatness come out of Ali. I think one fighter that suffered that was Shannon Briggs. I think Shannon Briggs should have been a great fighter. He had a great puncher. His mind was real strong. He could see things, but they held him back and tried to make him a more traditional type boxer. And that wasn't him. That wasn't him mentally. I got a kid right now by the name of Nigel Lopez. Fits that mold with Ali and Roy Jones, those type of guys. And I told his father, the kid got everything, got to turn him loose.
Yeah, I seen him in sparring,
yeah.
You know, and I see what you're saying. You know, when he was in sparring, he was giving the sparring partner the business. You know, very solid fighter. Why do you see that? What technique? Is it his work ethic, or is it just what he's blessed with and he's utilizing it right now?
It's what he's blessed with, and you got to be able to read his mind. You got to be able to read his mindset and see how creative these are. If he's very creative, then you don't try to change that, you know. But you got to have the basic fundamentals. Then you just wind them up and turn them loose. They're gonna do their thing anyway.
Outstanding. Who piques your interest in boxing today? Since you've been around the globe, you know, what type of boxer today that's piquing your interest as far as being that qualified, technical expert in the ring?
I think that the fighter that I saw that was a well-rounded boxer was Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence showed me when he Michael Garcia, Sean Porter. I think he showed a whole lot of versatility in those fights. He can box, he can fight, he can go inside, he can go outside. He just showed a lot. He's just all-around good fighter.
Yeah, he did switch it up with Mikey Garcia, the way he boxed him to how he fought Sean Porter in that 12-round decision. And a lot of people consider him to be, up there at the pound-for-pound list. I must ask you this: between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, how do you see that playing out? Do you believe that?
I'd go with Spence.
Okay.
I think that Terrence Crawford's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He's a very good fighter, but he's no Pernell Whitaker. But he's a very good fighter. But I think that the power, the strength, and the boxing ability, the inside work of Errol Spence, I think he could overwhelm him.
Do you think he'll recover from that accident? Enough to get back in the ring to his old self?
I don't know, but only time's gonna tell. I'm glad that he's taking his time. I heard him say the other day, maybe in the spring, May sometime. But if he got to take off a year or two, then he can do that. He can come back.
What's your assessment on Gervonta Tank Davis? He's headlining the card. It's been a while. Von Bean versus Evander Holyfield over 25 plus years ago. How do you view this fight as far as predictions and so forth?
I think that it's I think he's a very good fighter. Got good short punches. He punches well. He got good speed. He's young. I think that in this fight that he's never been tested before. I think he's going to be tested if they have to go the distance. He's going to be tested in the long run. And I think that his chin going to get tested, so it's going to be a big test for him.
Dealing with the heavyweight division right now in this era, you had Anthony Joshua come off a loss and then regain his titles in Saudi Arabia. Do you believe we might see an undisputed heavyweight champion this time around, or will the titles get dispersed for maybe Anthony Joshua not taking his mandatories or so forth?
They'll probably break up because you have to understand it's a business also.
Yeah.
So there's other people that want to get their fighters in a position. My fighter, #1 contender, Trevor Bryan's supposed to be fighting for the WBA regular title, and they haven't been able to make that fight with Manuel Shaw. He's been ducking and dodging. So Trevor will be here. We waiting on. He's 20-0. He's young. We almost had to fight with Joshua the last fight, but he's sitting right there. So we got a lot of good young guys sitting there waiting. We got them on the fence, but they're going to get off in a minute.
Absolutely. And it's been an absolute pleasure. Any final words you have to say to your supporters that's out there?
I just want to let you know that, hey, boxing is back. It's real. The heavyweight division is flourishing. So the other classes are flourishing also. So it's going to be a great fight on Saturday night. Come out and check it out.
Hey, thank you very much, Coach McKinney. Thank you for what you've contributed to the sport of boxing and continue to contribute. And salute from World Combat Sports.
Thank you very much.